The Chargers and Justin Herbert pulls the upset over the Chiefs and Patrick Mahommes. Let's talk sports. I can't even lie to y'all. Y'all knew my prediction. I did a prediction, last week. I said the Chargers were going to win this game. They were finally going to knock off the devil-ass Chiefs. And there was some things that happened in this game that were very heartbreaking, guys. But I'm not going to lie to y'all. This might be one of the best Justin Herbert games I've watched in a long goddamn time. From quarter four, Justin Herbert fucking played his ass off, guys. I mean, this game was beautiful to watch. There was some crazy-ass deep balls from Justin Herbert. There was some beautiful-ass dime passes. There was the play-action game. The Chargers were one of the best that could do play-action, but they really showed today that they are one of the best at play-action. The play-action passes, the way that Justin Herbert was selling these play-action passes for really good runs, too. I mean, I love seeing the Chiefs completely lose. I like seeing these guys fail. I will always, on this podcast show, guys, for the whole entire year, we will be hating on the Chiefs. I don't fucking like the Chiefs. I'll be goddamn real. So this is just, a happy-ass day to see finally the goddamn Chiefs lose. Thank God. The score was 21-27. This was a very close game. And I do like how Patrick Mahommes really put this game on his back and said, you know what, I'm really going to make sure that we're still in this. But then, guys, I noticed something, Patrick Mahommes makes this deep-ass pass. Beautiful deep pass. I mean, holy shit. It was a complete-ass bomb. And you're like, oh shit, all right, here we go. The Chargers are fucked. Patrick Mahommes is ready to go. And they get to the 1st and goal and completely just fall apart. I mean, Patrick Mahommes is not making any passes. Travis Kelce is not on the same, wavelength. And then Andy Reid, this motherfucker, instead of doing a field goal, instead of doing a touchdown, trying to get the touchdown, he goes for the safe option and goes for a field goal. I just want to ask y'all something. Why in the hell would you ever go for a field goal after that explosive-ass drive from Patrick Mahommes? Why would you waste that drive on a field goal when you know the Chargers are probably going to win the next drive? And that's what happened. Justin Herbert scrambles up for the final ass play. Scrambles up there. He's backed. I mean, it's like 3rd and 14th. He's backed way behind. This is the chance for the defense to really stop Justin Herbert. And motherfucker pulls a Patrick Mahommes and just scrambles up for that 1st down. Wide open, too. There was no defenders like anywhere where Justin Herbert was running up at. And that sealed the game, guys. And I just want to ask this. Why the hell would you go for a field goal? When the game is on the line, and Patrick Mahommes clearly showed that the game was on the line and made that crazy-ass pass, why would you not trust him again for 4th and goal? He could have scrambled up there for a touchdown or some shit. I mean, something could have happened where they could have got back in the game, but they went for a field goal. And you definitely see it from here, guys. And I'll just be real. The way the Chiefs played in this game was just disappointing. I mean, this is 2024 Chiefs all over again. The penalties. So many goddamn holding calls. So many just offside penalties. I mean, they even had to get a player out of their whole fucking offensive line startup because they were getting so many penalties. And even when they made adjustments on halftime, which, by the way, I just want to say this. They took all that time, they showed up late on halftime, and this is what they deliver? This is what you deliver? You know, I just saw them walk out slowly, being late for, being late, being in the locker room for way too long. You see them get out there all chilled out, all just calmly walking out after they just been fucking late. Immediately I went, I hope the Chargers beat their fucking ass. Because I look at this team, and we look at this team right here. I thought Patrick Mahommes was going to be back, and then this man can't even get a pass off sometimes. The only drive, in my opinion, that really, they had a few drives that they got some touchdowns in, but then their, kicker couldn't make the field goal for the extra point. And then once they, Patrick Mahommes got the touchdown and they needed a 2-point conversion to tie up the game, they also couldn't get the 2-point conversion down. So I'll say this. Patrick Mahommes, he tried his best in the second half of the game, but I think in the first half, I'm going to be real, there was a lot of things I did not like what Patrick Mahommes was doing. I mean, this man was making terrible-ass throws, really weird short fucking throws too that just honestly made no sense, and the only couple of deep balls that he tried were at the end of the game. I mean, I thought we were going to bring back the Chiefs offense, the high power and throwing, the deep ball going crazy, in this game. They had to go back to the 2024 method and just do screen passes, bubble passes, boom, 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 wasting time off the clock. Keep wasting time off the goddamn clock because you're losing. What are you doing? I mean, Jesus Christ. It was just disappointing to see. Now, there was some injury. There was a lot of injuries on the Chiefs side. First of all, I don't know how Travis Kelce... First snap, this motherfucker runs into Xavier Worthy, which was gonna supposedly had a breakout year this year, and supposedly that's who they game planned on for this game, and Travis Kelce injures his own player, and he had to get out the game. That is terrible. And, I hope, Xavier Worthy is going to be fine. I hope he can play football again, because I really wanted to see... I think everybody wanted to see Xavier Worthy go crazy and catch, crazy-ass deep passes from Patrick Mahommes. Everybody wanted to see that, but we're not going to see that because Travis Kelce just had to fucking run into him like a goddamn bulldozer and injure his own player. What are we fucking doing? Now, besides all those injuries, guys, besides all that thing, everything like that, I do like how Patrick Mahommes really tried to put this game on his back. I mean, this man was scrambling for his life. He even scrambled for one touchdown. I mean, this man was trying to win this game. But I think what was going on in this game was it looked like Patrick Mahommes was really trying to win this game. But the rest of his team, I don't know what the fuck they were on in Brazil. I mean, are they jet lagged? Are they on drugs? Are they on something? Because they didn't even wake up until the fourth quarter. Why would you wait? Why would your whole team wake up? Why would the defense start making plays when it's the end of the game? When there's only one quarter left and you're clearly not in the lead. It just makes no sense in my opinion. I mean, goddamn. It's like I'm watching Andy Reid get fired up, and I'm thinking, okay, all right, there we go. Andy Reid woke up, now he's, getting in the game. He's finally, yelling at some players. There we go. I think, halftime adjustments are actually going to happen. What were the halftime adjustments? It was just Patrick Mahommes carrying for his life. And this Chargers defense today, they played aggressive from quarter one till quarter four. Why the fuck were the Chiefs defense only playing like this on the third and fourth quarter? Where was the whole fourth quarters of defense? This is supposed to be the Sags defense. This is supposed to be the Really good defense. I mean, the whole pregame, the whole coverage of the media was talking about this Chiefs defense was going to do something. This Chiefs defense was asleep. I mean, goddamn. Justin Herbert was making wide open passes, some wide open runs, some wide open ass scrambles. I mean, where was this defense at all? I mean, what are we even doing here? So that's definitely a disappointing thing in my opinion. But guys, those are all my thoughts about this game now. But let's get into the whole recap. Let's go over every single drive. I won't go over the field goals. I've already talked about the field goals. The last drive of the Chiefs, guys, was when this game was 21-27. 11 plays, it was 63 yards, and this is where, Patrick Mahommes makes this deep 49-yard pass, and it results in a field goal. And I just think this was game-ending. This was basically going, yeah, I want to lose. I want to lose by the other team. I want to give up. That's what it felt like. Are you really not going to trust your number one quarterback who has put you in game-winning positions, has put you in fourth quarter winning positions for years at this point, and you're not going to trust him to get this touchdown at 4th and goal? It just feels like the Chiefs were, in my opinion, were losing. It just said, let's just lose. Let's just do a field goal and lose. So I think that's on Andy Reid, in my opinion. I think that's how they lost this game. Because I think, honestly, in my opinion, Patrick Mahomes completely tried his best. He tried his best. But I think the reason why they lost this game today was not Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be Andy Reid. So let's go over this whole entire game, guys. Starting off with the first quarter. First quarter, 9 plays, 63 yards. This touchdown drive was just beautiful to watch. We start off with a 6-yard run. And, I like how this 6-yard run sets up for a nice, clean 33-yard pass. Guys, that's a few first downs. That is a big-ass pass to make, in my opinion. Then you get a 9-yard pass coming in. Then you get an 8-yard run from Hampton. By the way, Amari Hampton played great in this game. Now, I will say, 3rd and 4th quarter, they tightened up. But honestly, in the 4th quarter, Amari Hampton came in there and he actually, was really running the ball up too. So even with the halftime adjustments the Chiefs made, they were still able to start running the ball. We get another 8-yard run, a 3-yard run. We get some penalties going in, but then, Justin Herbert comes in here and just gets an easy touchdown pass. It was 8 yards. It was beautiful. I mean, goddamn. Now, this is where we started going into the second quarter. Second quarter was just field goals. I will say that. Look, I liked how Justin Herbert was playing. You had 88 yards. Great. But then it ends with a field goal. Chiefs respond with a field goal. And I do like how, I thought that the Chiefs were honestly going to get a touchdown when they came to the 4th and goal, but then a sack. Patrick Mahomes gets sacked, and it kind of ends that whole drive, and they just get a field goal. And then the Chargers respond with the field goal. And, I like how the Chiefs tried again with another field goal. They got 6 points, and then they came in the 3rd quarter, and they actually responded finally. By the way, third quarter, guys, Patrick Mahomes finally gets a touchdown in this whole entire game. It was 14 plays, 86 yards, which is just insane. We start off with an 11-yard run, and it was a Patrick Mahomes scramble, which was nice. Then you get some penalties. And then you get a 14-yard pass from Patrick Mahomes. Then you get a 4-yard run, 13-yard pass, 7-yard pass. We get some penalties, some incomplete passes coming in. And then we get a 15-yard run from Patrick Mahomes again. He scrambles right up there. 2-yard pass, a 7-yard pass, 11-yard run. Hunt gets up there in the middle, and I like that. And then Patrick Mahomes scrambles in and takes the team for a touchdown. And this is what I'm saying, Patrick Mahomes, he tried his best. He really did. But I feel like the whole entire team, guys, was not on point. The defense today was not on point. The coaching was not on point. What were we calling? What the communication with these players was not on point. I mean, you saw Patrick Mahommes struggling to, to get his receivers in check. I mean, man, it was just rough out there. And by the way, I like how Travis Kelce injured his own player, and this man didn't even, start getting some momentum until the final fourth quarter, and he got that touchdown pass. Are you kidding me? Guys, it was 12-20 at this time. It was the Chargers get a 15-play, 79-yard touchdown drive. We start off with a great 3-yard run. There was a sack, though, but it was an 8-yard sack. But then Justin Herbert, like Justin Herbert does, and he, took that sack yards right off and got a 14-yard pass, a 4-yard run. We did get some penalties coming in for -5 yards, 7-yard run, 15-yard pass, and then we get a 16-yard pass. These are just two passes. These were deep-ass passes, guys. I mean, they were just beautiful passes to watch. Holy shit. 5-yard run, another 5-yard run to get that first down in, a 7-yard run. And then Justin Herbert, does a nice little left pass for a touchdown. And I just really liked how, the whole time, the Chargers just played with so much resilience, played with so much heart, played with so much passion. That defense, man, they were crushing the Chiefs. It was great to watch. Now, this is where the game got a little bit better. As we went to the fourth quarter, now it was 18-20. Finally, the Chiefs get another touchdown drive. We got 9 plays, 65 yards. We start off with a 5-yard run, incomplete pass, but Patrick Mahommes makes up for that with a 12-yard pass, which is nice. Then we start getting the run game going for 2 yards, a 4-yard pass, 5-yard run, touchdown, and Patrick Mahommes, throws to the right and gets a touchdown. And then you're thinking, are they going to tie it up? They're finally going to try to tie it up. So they try to get the 2-point conversion. And that 2-point conversion did not go anywhere. The ball literally just got slapped right out of Patrick Mahomes' hands, which is just crazy. And then you're thinking, all right, how are the Chargers going to respond to a touchdown? From the Chiefs, and they respond with their own 13-play, 74-yard touchdown drive. Took 7 minutes off the clock. We got a 7-yard pass, a 4-yard pass, 4-yard pass, 9-yard pass, a 6-yard pass. Herbert was just literally just slinging that rock for 5 yards. 7 yards here, 6 yards here. Then he gets in for an 11-yard pass. Then we get a 9-yard pass. And I really like how this whole entire game, everybody was talking about the Chargers being a very run-heavy offense. Today, in this game, they were a very play-action, pass-heavy offense today. And I think that really confused the defense today from the Chiefs. I mean, they had no idea what to do. I mean, they were just getting completely killed out there. And by the way, when your defense is not even, when your defense is asleep and they're asleep for 1 quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters of the game, well, damn, that's going to be rough. And then we get a 9-yard pass and then a 2-yard run. And I like how, they had a 0-yard run. Hampton couldn't run up the middle to get the touchdown, but it was 3rd and 1 and they still trusted to get that 2-yard run, which was nice. And Justin Herbert throws it for a touchdown pass, 23 yards. This was a big-ass touchdown play from Justin Herbert. I really liked how Justin Herbert played in this game, guys. And I like how the Chiefs responded with the damn field goal. With a field goal, guys, that is how the Chiefs respawn. So, look, when we talk about this game, guys, I loved how the Chargers played. Offensive side of the ball was just great. Herbert played amazing. I mean, he had over 300 yards today. I mean, guys, that is very hard to do in the NFL. Who expected Justin Herbert to have over 300 passing yards over this very crazy-ass Chiefs defense. I mean, that was just beautiful to watch, in my opinion. And then you had the defense side of the Chargers, too. The defensive side played really great, too. They kept all of the coverage today. They kept all of the receivers locked up. Patrick Mahommes couldn't even throw to anybody half the time. The only thing, the defense couldn't do was stop the scrambling. It's hard to stop the, Patrick Mahomes scramble from all defenses. But that's all he could do. And also, too, they made halftime adjustments. They started sacking Patrick Mahomes. They started getting those really critical sacks that really, threw the offensive side of the Chiefs really down. And you really saw it. You really saw it today, guys. I loved how the defense played today. I loved how the offense played today from the Chargers. I said the Chargers were going to win, and they fucking won today, guys. I mean, this was a beautiful day. So, I'm going to rate the Chargers today. The offense is going to get an 8 out of 10. I loved how Herbert played. Herbert, this man was slinging the goddamn rock. I mean, holy shit. Defensive side of the ball, too, is going to get an 8 out of 10. I really hope the Chargers defense can keep playing like this. If they keep playing with this much heart, this much aggression, able to really cover but still be very aggressive, I mean, guys, this is a really good defense so far. Now, we'll see as the weeks go on, but, already I'm loving the defense. Now, the Chiefs side, the offensive side, I will give a 7. I liked how they still kept in the fight. They didn't completely just let the Chargers wash over them, even though sometimes it felt like that. But the Chiefs, I'm going to say Patrick Mahomes, because the Chiefs, overall, the other team, what the fuck were the Chiefs even doing? So I liked how Patrick Mahomes really, bossed up and, tried to win this game on his back. But it's so hard to do to win games on your back when your whole ass team is just giving you penalties. Just giving you nothing. Receivers that you have are not making any catches. Even if you throw a ball straight to their hands, they're not making those catches. So, it's a really hard thing, in my opinion, when your whole entire team is not up to par. They're not playing well. So I'll give a 7 out of 10 for the offense. They tried their best to stay in the game. But that defensive side on the Chiefs, I'm going to have to give them like a 3 out of 10. What in the hell was the Chiefs defense even doing? I mean, it was just embarrassing to watch. You go to Brazil and you just watch the Chiefs defense, known for being one of the best defenses in the NFL, and they're asleep out there. I mean, there is moments where they're just making some of the easy-ass deep cross routes you can see, these wide open passes, and you're just like, where's the defense? What are y'all doing? I think this defense needs to play aggressive for all 4 quarters. Why are we still in 2025 doing this bullshit-ass slow start? Oh, just wait, the Chiefs, they have a slow start. They'll get into the game as the game goes on. Why are we doing that? Why is that being coached? Why is that being rewarded? You should not be playing like this, because you're going to go up against a team like a playoff team like the Chargers that can score, that can win football games, and they're going to look at you and they're going to take advantage of that. They're going to take advantage of your sleeping ass defense. Wake the fuck up. I mean, what are we doing? So, I'm going to have to give them like a 3 out of 10 today. The defense played terrible. Offense, they tried their best, I guess. And honestly, too, this is a very, terrible performance from Patrick Mahomes, too. But honestly, losing Xavier Worthy and then, Travis Kelce felt like he disappeared until, the 4th quarter. So, I mean, it's really hard to win football games when your whole entire team is not a goddamn awake. Offensive line, too, was just letting Patrick Mahomes having to scramble and get away Where's the protection? Why are we not giving Patrick Mahommes any time to make good passes? Why is every single play he's having to run for his life like CJ Stroud out there? I mean, Lord Mighty, and then eventually that costs him. Eventually he gets sacks. Eventually that Chargers defense actually breaks through and tackles him. I mean, what are we doing? So, guys, overall, I really enjoyed this game. I loved how the Chargers played today. I'm glad Justin Herbert and the Chargers were able to pull off the massive upset. This is big, guys. This is literally a divisional type game, and this counts for 2 wins. So this is a very big game in my opinion, and I love how the Chargers were able to pull off that upset. Guys, how do y'all feel about NFL Week 1? NFL Week 1 it's going crazy. I mean, we got a Chiefs loss. The Eagles are winning. I liked how the Dallas Cowboys played on Thursday, but yeah, this was definitely not one of those type of games. This wasn't like a offensive battle. This was like one offense going crazy and another offense just completely missing the mark for the whole entire game. And, once you finally wake up and you start making really good passes on the third quarter or the fourth quarter, once you start actually doing this stuff, guys, the game's going to be over because you're losing. You're doing all of this, but you're losing. It'd be different if the Chiefs were winning and they were, wasting the clock. They were, doing this, doing that, to waste time and, make these small ways to win. But you can only do that for so long before another team just completely bulldozes you over. And that's what happened today. So, Chiefs play disappointing. Hopefully they can come back. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the Chiefs' losing streak can continue. Will the Chiefs lose? Will the Chiefs go 0-2? I don't know. But the Chargers are 1-0, which is really nice to see. I'm glad to see Justin Herbert have a really good night, especially having a really good night over a really good team. So that's a really nice thing, guys. All right, guys, if you're on Pandora, my Pandora people, make sure you follow. We're covering the NFL for the whole entire year, for the rest of 2025 and from 2026. So make sure you follow if you're on Pandora. This sports show was made for y'all. I mean, I made this show in mind for y'all. So make sure you follow if you're on Pandora. And if you're on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast at, make sure you follow, turn on notifications, guys. I'm enjoying Week 1. We're going to continue talking about Week 1 on Sunday night, so make sure you check the episodes out on Sunday night. I was thinking, am I going to talk about college football on Saturday? I don't know, guys. I'll think about it. If there's a big team to talk about, maybe I'll do it. But don't expect anything on Saturday, all right? I'll just be real. I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling. But I will be back on Sunday night to talk about all the action and my team, the Lions. The Lions got a big-ass game. And I'm kind of scared for that game. So I'll be back on Sunday night to talk about all the Sunday action. So make sure y'all follow, and I'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Bye.